Hey, it's me again, and today we're going to talk about what lurks beneath the choices that we make. Have you ever wondered why intelligent people press the snooze button every day and procrastinate about starting their days? Have you ever wondered why your most self-motivated friends are the ones that self-sabotage? Or you learn a bunch of new skills, but you still manage to just stay the same, stay stuck. It's almost like you have a glass ceiling above your head. As human beings, our nervous systems are wired for comfort. Our brains want to keep us safe, comfortable. And then our heart and our soul yearn for personal growth and fulfillment. That push and pull between these two sides, that is what leads to our frustration, because we understand we're limiting our potential, but yet we feel like we're just running on a hamster wheel of mediocrity. Our critical thinking brains, our neocortex, only form by the time we're 7 years old. So up until the age of 7, our children or grandchildren, in my case, are living in this wonderful, magical land of fantasy. It's about unicorns, it's about rainbows, castles in the sky, it's about dinosaurs and Superman and Spider-Man who are coming to save the day. So, as we know, little children are very impressionable. So, let me share a story with you. Dad is tasked with taking care of the kids on a Saturday morning. When he woke up, he checked the mail, saw what the credit card debt situation is in the household. Maybe he heard about a few layoffs that are happening at work at the moment. And then also he had an argument with his best friend, his wife. But he's tasked with taking the kids grocery shopping, and off they go to the store. And as they get to the checkout, his young daughter, little Annie, sees a doll that she's really wanted for a long time. And this doll is right at the checkout. Please, Daddy, please, can I please get this doll? Dad's like, no, we're busy. We're at the checkout. We're about to go. But Annie's very persuasive and she doesn't just leave it there. She keeps asking, please, please, can I get this doll? And gives him a whole bunch of reasons why. And Dad's frustrated. He's thinking about the credit card and he's like, you weren't good enough today. You didn't behave yourself. And we're not getting that doll. We need to get moving. We're going through the checkout. What happens is little Annie, in her mind, she's not living in that world of credit card debt and that world that who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, the reality of the situation. She's just heard that she's not good enough, that she's not worth it, and she's undeserved. And as we know, no one is to blame in this situation. Not little Annie, definitely not Dad. Parents are not to blame. We're all just trying to get by in our lives. But fast forward now, little Annie is now Mrs. Annie, and all of a sudden success comes her way. But remember, her limiting belief is saying that she's not worth it, she's undeserved, and she hasn't been good enough. So, what do? We self sabotage without even thinking. So, the first law of personal growth is that people will never rise above the opinion that they have of themselves or who they think they are. So, where did we? So, that opinion is formed before the age of 7. And unfortunately, is that that opinion was formed by whether we believe or think we got love from the people that we most needed it. So I want to stop here and just think about that. Maybe stop and give yourself just a hug. just a hug to acknowledge that you had no hand in, and actually neither did anyone else, in securing those limiting beliefs in your life. But the great thing is that we can do something about it. They don't have to stay. We can rip them out. And that's what the plan is in this program. So now I want to bring in that we're creatures of habit. Okay. That's what I work with, habit change. And human beings are programmable by design. So if you're that individual who walks into a restaurant and you automatically order the fries above the salad, and you've done that not for 1 year, you've done that for 10 years, for 15 years, maybe 20 years, our reticular activating system takes over. It sees that as an automatic habit and instills it in your brain. So all of a sudden, it's a subconscious, an unsubconscious habit. You just do this. Think about the fact that you don't have to learn to walk every day. Think about the fact you don't have to learn to drive. And then understanding that most of the time, human beings are operating in their subconscious space. We're not conscious. We're only conscious for less than 8% of the day. We're making conscious decisions. The rest of the day, we're on autopilot. When you drove to work this morning, or you drove home this evening, how did you arrive home? Don't we sometimes get into the car and before we know it, we're back home? We've parked the car in the garage, we've shut the garage door, we're in the kitchen unpacking groceries. And how did we get home? How did we negotiate the traffic? Did we stop at all the lights? We indicated at the right time. We turned into the right home. But we've been operating on autopilot. So now let me tell you another little story. And I heard this first in a TED Talk. So there's a little worker ant, and this little worker ant has been away for a weekend seminar on self-motivation, setting goals, and defining exactly where you want to be in the next month. So on Sunday night, he's got the program set. He knows exactly what he needs to do on Monday morning, wakes up early on Monday morning, jumps out of bed, and off he marches north. And now I want to bring to you that this little worker ant is marching north. And little does he know, on the back of a big gray elephant marching south, which is our subconscious minds, filled with all those limiting beliefs and filled with all the limiting patterns, habits, and behaviors that we have. So how do we get this elephant to shift into the right direction? Now, I've just mentioned to you that we operate in a subconscious state for most of the day. And the only way we're going to get that elephant to be moving in a better direction and to make better choices is for us to become more aware of our subconscious choices and what we're doing. So the way we do that is exactly what we're going to be learning in this program, with small choices. And the awareness comes from reminders and noticing how we're feeling, what we're doing, what is the emotion we're feeding at the time. So the other thing that is of great importance in making better choices is that our environment almost trumps everything. Think about it. If I decided to live in the freezer, and yes, it is snowing outside, hence my clothing style, but if you decided to live in the freezer, it doesn't matter how many layers of clothes, how many caps, how many gloves, how many scarves you wear, you're going to be cold, whether you like it or not. Also, then, who are the people that you're hanging out with, and where are you hanging out? For a bit of light-hearted banter, are you hanging out in the gym, or are you hanging out at McDonald's? When I first heard that, I found that quite funny. So these are all very important questions because you see, we are creatures of habit, like I've said time and again. And the thing is, we can only shift those habits by putting ourselves in a different environment. So that needle that we've got to shift to get the elephant moving from one section to another, that needle will only point in a different direction if we put our physical human bodies in a different environment that is more conducive to where we're wanting to be. The other thing I'd like to bring toward you right now is the fact that you should be working with a coach or a mentor who is well versed in human behavior and the patterns, and listening to and hearing the communication you're having with yourself and others is able to ask you the right questions to answer, to rip out those limiting beliefs from wherever they're hiding. This is a beautiful process, and it can be done step by step. So I'm excited to have shared all of this information with you, and I tried to make it a great story, easy to understand, because it's so important that we learn what lurks behind the choices we have and understand that we have the capability and the power to break through that glass ceiling. You're in the right place. I believe in you, and I know you can do this.